Howdy, folks. Welcome to this Thursday evening's Gameplay Candles live stream. My name's Alex. I'm the founder of Gameplay Candles, and I'm joined tonight by my good friend and current DM, Steve. Steve, how you doing?
Doing good. Just surviving the tornado warning we're under.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
should say if we do cut out, somewhat suddenly, it's because we've lost power and the world is ending outside my window right over here. So bear with us for flickering lights and also atmospheric conditions that are beyond our control. But let's get into the fun part. This is a flash sale going on during this live stream. So without further ado, let's do the game. And the game, for those of you who have just joined us for the first time, every Thursday we do this for the next hour. We're going to have a sale going on. It's going to be 10% baseline plus whatever we roll on the D20. So that's anywhere between 11% discount to up to 30% discount. Let's move some inventory. All right, let's see. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Come on.
Ooh, nice. That's a hit. Okay, so we're at 28% discount. That's a 28% discount on all orders for the next hour. That's the hour between 9 and 10 o'clock Central Time. And the code for tonight's discount is camping. So all caps. Enter the code camping at checkout for a 28% discount for the next hour. Hot dang. I think that's the highest one we've gotten so far, Steve. Is that right?
So far, yes.
So far, yes. We got, that just raises the bar for when are we going to get that 29 and sweet natural 20?
When you're rolling the D100, that's the big question.
Okay, well, okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's like you buy candle, and I'll include cash with it when it ships. So just some quick business updates. We finally have jars back in stock. So all those ads you've seen on the various social media channels featuring jars, and you click through and you're disappointed because it says out of stock, and it said out of stock for so long, you start to lose hope. Fear not. Jars are back in stock. We finally got that last missing component we needed to sell jars again. And if you head over to gameplaycandles.com, you can peruse all of our products. We have all products in stock. And I guess I could tease this a little bit. We got 2 more core collection scents coming. I think I've discussed this before, but we got...
what scents are those?
Okay, so we got Barbarian Encampment. So this is the tin, and you see we got these fancy, nice new labels that are shiny like that. But Barbarian Encampment, it's definitely different than any other candle we've had. It's sort of like, we use a vetiver scent in there, which is like this barnyard smell. I mean, I feel like I'm describing wine right now, but it's a very barnyard musk going on with it, sort of like a well-established campsite, which we're going to get into. Yeah, we're going to get into it with that. But we got that in the tin. Well, we have that coming out soon. And here's the jar. Jar candles are, extra large. They're used. It's a 7-ounce jar that should burn for 30 to 35 hours, and a 3.2-ounce tin. Those will be coming soon. Actually, as far as business updates go, tomorrow I'm doing product photography for this. So if anyone has a small business, they know how fun that is. That is actually the fun part of launching new scents. But besides that, we got Bard's Bedroom coming. Bard's Bedroom is another new core collection. It's sweet. It's seductive. It's something that we imagine a bard would have in his bedroom, his or her bedroom, that when you're a lover, not a fighter, and you want to roll those seductions with advantage, the seduction rolls, then have one of these candles there. But that's another 3.2-ounce tin and a 7-ounce jar. It smells really good. When I poured these, my whole house smelled like, I don't know, like a bouquet almost. So those are core collections, I should say, not seasonal. So those are going to be in stock forever going forward. We add those along with Druid's Orchard this spring to our core collection. We got some other seasonal candles coming out, but I'll tease those later. Don't even worry about it. So normally Steve, I think we normally head into a recurring bit with Carolyn. Is it Carolyn or Caroline? Caroline. I knew I was saying it wrong because it sounded too natural to me. But Caroline's pointing out that Pock needs it so that Krieve doesn't overwhelm Pock's gentle sensibilities. So could not argue with that. Let's see. Let's skip the Chat GPT thing for now because I think it's maybe we'll squeeze it in the back. But
yeah, no problem.
But Steve, you were out and about in nature recently. Can you tell us what were you doing for the past couple days?
Yeah, so it's spring break in Texas, and this last week, Arkansas apparently gets flooded with 3 states.
Okay.
Like the majority of Texas, Iowa, and Minnesota just flooded Arkansas, and we were one of the state parks. And I was there with my daughters, and we had a Girl Scout camp out, which was a lot of fun. They even got their camping below freezing badge because it was about 30 every night, which is
that sounds less fun, but a good time.
It's eye-opening for sure. I'll tell you that much, and it makes me appreciate and think about characters when they're camping in D&D if it's below freezing. Yeah. And having disadvantage for 2 hours until they warm up.
Yeah, I was trying to think of different topics, and we have a long list of topics, but I was not going to let this week go by without taking advantage of the timeliness of this. But talking about camping and being out in nature and whatnot, it reminded me that in D&D there are a couple core assumptions that are made in a lot of, I'd say the majority of homebrew settings, and that is the world is ancient. It has ancient ruins, and civilizations have risen and fallen, and then also civilization is sort of spread out. They use what's called the points of light philosophy, which talks about civilization being like the stars scattered in a dark and dangerous world. And so in between all these towns, villages, hamlets, what have you, you have the road, you have wilderness, and the threats that go along with it. So I know that I'm guilty of sort of fast traveling between them very frequently just to keep the plot going and whatnot. But if you look at the history of D&D, one of the games that it was born of was just all about random encounters on the road. And getting to the dungeon was part of it. Doing dungeon delving was obviously part of it, but then also getting back from the dungeon was part of the adventure. And I think we've lost a little bit of that. But thankfully, we're here, and we're going to talk about maybe some ideas to incorporate that camping wilderness aspect to adventures and your own homebrew sessions. So whatchamacallit? Oh, Summer, thank you. Glad that you took advantage of that code. Yeah, what is it? 28%, right? That's no slouch. I can't wait to fulfill that order.
Alex, one cool thing about that camping trip, I learned in talks with some of the parents, there was a couple that was going that played D&D. They started when they were in high school, 2nd edition. They played 3rd edition, and they haven't played since. Ooh. And so, being the good DM I am, I brought all my books, and that first night, we rolled for characters.
Nice.
And the second night, I had a couple hours, and I came with a one-shot, and we actually played while camping a D&D one-off, and it was great because the parents had played, but the 2 kids, an 11-year-old girl who ended up being a dwarven barbarian, and her older brother who was on it because it was a family camping trip. He was an elven fighter, and they just had so much fun. And especially the little girl, oh my gosh, her character's name was Amber, and she rolled so well. It was just the dice were on fire, big smiles. Yeah. And in one encounter, she killed all 3 monsters by herself.
That's nuts. And well,
she was in love with D&D.
I mean, I love introducing the game to new players, and if people haven't touched a game since 3rd edition, then I think 5th edition is going to be very accessible to those folks because I don't have a whole lot of experience with 3 or 3.5, but it's a lot compared to 5th edition. 5th edition is very user friendly, streamlined,
Yeah,
and what have you. But yeah, yeah, that's so awesome. I love introducing folks and to do it in the wild. I hope that.
yeah.
Did you use a wilderness forest similar to the ones that y'all found yourselves in?
Sort of. So we actually, it was so cold one night. It was down around 30. The state park actually had kind of like a lodge.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old lodge built by the what was it called? Civilian Conservation Corps
Yeah,
back in
the
the 20s.
CCC in the 30s.
Yeah, 30s during the Depression. And we went to it. And it was, if I were to ever picture in my mind what a tavern would look like in D&D,
Yeah.
this is it. Complete like wood log structure, stone fireplace with a fire going, quiet at night, we're at the tables.
Yeah.
I can't think of a more perfect setting for these two young kids to play D&D for the first time, have a ball. It was a magical night.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Oh, that's great. Kegs, I just saw your comment there. I'm glad you're taking use of that sales code as well. Surgery to remove cancer Monday, Bud. You got to let us know how that goes, obviously. Traveler's Tavern, very, very good scent. Coconut wax, which is what we use specifically because it's arguably healthier. I mean, I'm a skeptic, so I'm gonna doubt even that claim, but it's definitely not an endocrine disruptor. I know that much.
It's better than the asbestos scandals we had in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. What is this we, Steve? We already made fun of your age earlier.
Oh, thank you. I forgot. Mr. Not born in the 70s. That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was born when the Beatles had already broken up. Yeah, phthalate free. Well, Kegs, best of luck to you. Don't be a stranger. Let us know how that all turns out, because that's now I'm going to be thinking about that. Where was I? Oh, forest and camping stuff. So, Steve, you mentioned that one of the characters there was an elf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which sort of segues a little bit tangentially into the first idea that I had when talking about camping is the idea of setting a sentry or a watch at night.
Yep.
That's one of those things that a new party will forget once, because if you're a DM, you have to have a nighttime encounter that like disrupts the sleep schedule, because that does a couple of things. It tells them that they're not implicitly safe in the wild, even if it's just like one person who needs to shake their hands to frighten away the animals or whatnot, that they need that one person up and awake. But also the idea of disrupting sleep could play into levels of exhaustion, which personally I think is one of the best mechanics and least utilized mechanics in the game. I don't think there's any enemies that deal exhaustion. Maybe there's a spell or two that deals exhaustion, but yeah, having that encounter at nighttime is definitely something that I plan on for all my first time players.
I mean, what I'm doing.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm saying when I'm doing my DMD, when I'm playing as a D&D character, or if I'm the DM, one thing I always expect is that the majority of the party is focused inward to whatever's going on in the moment. But there should always be like one character who's pulling, and this is from my army days, 360 security.
Yeah.
On a swivel, they're looking around, because if you're just focused on something, there's always that external threat. There's always something that is going to flank you. It's going to come out of nowhere. It's going to surprise you. It's going to totally ruin your day. So whether you're camping and asleep, or even if you're just going like through a dungeon crawl, it's easy just to be going, hey, this is the direction of travel, everyone's going, but like look behind you, to the side, what's going on, and all you need is one character to kind of focus on that 360 security, and you'll be in so much better situational awareness. You've seen that in my games.
I was going to say, for those of you who haven't played with Steve, that is your character. That is Draper's role in the party. There's been so many times where it's like there's a bunch of hallways and like doors, and everyone's focused on like the door and positioning themselves around the door they're about to open. But Steve is invariably like, okay, I want my ranger to post up here and post sentry looking down this hallway, and I want my my pet familiar or whatnot to be covering this other hallway, this other approach vector, or whatever terminology.
Yeah, I mean, that way we're looking this. I know the party's going to take care of the room. We're posting up security. And same thing with
security.
If we're crossing a road or a stream, like linear danger, right? So
Yeah.
look up and down the river while the party crosses.
Yeah,
just to make sure we're not getting caught by something, whatever it might be.
Yeah, those strategic choke points, I think, is how you've caught us before crossing a river. But for nighttime encounters, though, I don't know about the audience, but my favorite for any level of party is Will o' the Wisps. And
I think kicked our butt when you played DM.
Yeah, they work well. I mean, if you have a higher level party, just add another 2, 3, 4 if you really want to be mean, because they have this ability to like enthrall and I should have looked this up before I'm going to embarrass myself in front of all the people who know. But the Will o' the Wisps are basically this spirit that's like a dot of light, and it has the ability to totally enthrall and entrance somebody if they fail I think it's a wisdom check. Which it can be really tough. I mean, statistically speaking, though, like you'll get, 1 or 2 out of a party of 4 or 5 people. Like 2 people would be a really, really great thing. But
Draper went down quick. That was the first time I had a character just death saving throws.
You got it. Yeah, you got enthralled, and it has the ability to like almost insta kill, which is great. But they're not particularly beefy, so they're like offensively a glass cannon. But the thing is they have like an AC of 18. So they're enormously difficult to hit, at least with, like a weapon. So yeah, it really forces the party to think creatively a lot of times, and it's good for any level. And they come out at night. So, if you have a single sentry, which I think is what Draper was in that instance, he's enthralled. He just wanders off into the woods. Does anybody wake up, or is he dead? Yeah. So that's my go-to for nighttime encounters in the woods anyway. But yeah, Steve, have you like ever? I don't remember you giving us a nighttime encounter, but
well, no, not an encounter. I mean, the only nighttime we done was like the heist.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some elements at night, but you give me some ideas here. Maybe I'll throw in the next couple sessions some nighttime. Encounters.
I mean, like when we're out in the wilderness or whatnot, we you just encounter things that you wouldn't normally in a city or town or hamlet. I love the NPC encounters you can come up with too, like just something as benign as like a traveler's cart, if you know that they're going to need something, or if they really needed that rope in that one instance, a day of travel ago, then you could tempt them with that. You could even have like little side quests. I like having a something obviously wrong with the forest, like multicolored leaves on trees, or if it's like in the middle of winter, but there are all these new buds sprouting and stuff. I interject a little like a fissure of chaos energy that suddenly is its own little side quest to try to slam shut before all sorts of nasty things pour through it and stuff like that. Or
my favorite is phase spiders.
Oh yeah, yep, very handy creatures. Those phase spiders, for those who don't know, they have the ability to phase out of the material plane, and I think it's into the ethereal plane, or is it
mechanically? Basically, they can jump around.
They just
point to point, teleport.
They disappear and show up in the most inconvenient spot. But it's great to keep a party off balance, and to if the casters are being smart and the squishy guys are staying in the back, then you got a spider on you now. There's not much they can do. It's always fun to mess with those squishy casters like that. So all sorts of NPC encounters or side quests, specific enemies that are unique to the forest. I think. What's that?
I was going to say, but there's also just the living in the woods. I think sometimes we take for granted just how easy or hard that actually can be. And you could make that, fresh water. Can you get it? Food, coffee. Are you getting a good night's rest? The elements. I mean, if you wanted to, just have it below freezing with a rainstorm. I mean, holy hell, talk about a miserable night that you may not be able to get your full rest. Maybe it's a short rest instead, even though it's 8 hours. And you can really screw with your party.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all sorts of other elements that I think we sometimes brush over very quickly. Like in the morning.
Exactly.
I mean, we've had encounters where we're like, hey, we're not going to make a fire because we don't want to be seen. Well, okay, so there's no hot food. You may not be able to process water safely. In the morning, you're not going to be able to eat unless you have some type of bread or other jerky or protein, something you may have packed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it throws some that if you really wanted to kind of mess with the party, so to speak, you could easily do so.
Well, I think anytime you get the party to make rolls, it increases the fun at the table. And so these are all like different aspects that you can have a roll for. So they're, survival checks for all those like setting a trap or filtering water or, identifying a good food source or berries that are like, foraged or whatnot. Survival checks are great for that.
Tornado watch.
Tornado watch. Yeah, this window hasn't blown in on me yet. So besides that, when you eat the wrong berries or you drink Giardia laced water, then you got con saves to make, and then you mess with the poison condition. That's no fun. Exhaustion. If you don't get a good night's rest, frostbite or something like that. If you didn't pack a good bedroll or camping gear or whatnot. I think you and I are cut from the same cloth, Steve, when it comes to like, I don't want you to like describe, I have 5 pounds of dried beans and 3 pounds of salted pork, and like, we don't get into that level of detail, but
no, but if you eat the wrong berry and you get dysentery, it could be a fun rolling for disadvantage for the next,
That's some Oregon Trail death spiral right there. Yeah. Pamela, you commented volcanoes. Yeah. I mean, all sorts of the environmental stuff. God, imagine the bad luck a party would have / the mean DM the party would have if like, oh, we're camping on the side of this volcano and this is the millennia that it decides to erupt. And suddenly you're like, in a chase scene against a wall of lava or something like that. Yeah, just the environment. I think I've said it before. The environment is always the unnamed character in every combat encounter. And so it's really not just limited to combat encounters. It's the travel aspect too.
Yeah, and you get snowed in. Darn it, party of 5.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, with that discussion out of the way, I think it might be fun, Steve, if we do a chat GPT procedurally generated, I don't know, encounter or not encounter, but like maybe an NPC that's unique to the forest or something. What do you think?
Yeah, let me do something like that. Let me put it on the screen real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll create a D&D 5e night forest monster. How about that?
There we go. Let's see. Can you
see what it does?
Hopefully, it's not like 500 words. Let's see. Ooh, Shadowfang.
A wolf-like creature with fur as dark as the night sky. Eyes glow piercing red, claws, moves fluid, almost ghostly grace. All right, it's got night vision, silent movement, fear aura, and sharp claws.
Yeah, that fear aura is going to mess people up. Cause enemies to flee in terror. Love that tactics. Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't give a lot of the mechanics, but you can always kind of.
Oh well, we can fit that in though. I mean, depending on how beefy that fear aura is, that's I think what's really going to affect the challenge rating for something like this. That and the HP.
Yeah, you can always just have like it makes 2 attacks or 3 attacks and really kind of screw everything.
Or it's like you need a wisdom 19 to resist its fear aura, or else you're. Like that's like, oh, it's a CR 12. Cool.
Sorry, barbarian.
Yeah. But on the same note, like this is something that when you've downed Shadowfang, I would have a survival check to collect its pelt, and then maybe have some unique piece of armor able to be crafted from it that would, grant you, I don't know, some sort of special bonus or something like that.
It could help you with your charisma or something.
Yeah, I mean, I do tend to, I do err on the caution of making super overpowered characters because I think it's more fun to play an epic character, and it's up to the DM to make those encounters just feel more epic. But
what I like to do is create epic magical items and give it to your characters, and then realize how overpowered they are.
Yes,
as you try to overcome
every first-time DM will make that mistake. Steve, you're very good company. But what we're referencing, what we're dancing around here is Steve gave our paladin the Holy Avenger. It's like it's a legendary artifact that is like for a level 18 to 20 character, but we're just level 7, just kicking ass and taking names. And yeah. I got a great way to just deal with that when I take the DM reins over again. Steve, don't even worry about it. Oh yeah. I bet I bet Pop really appreciates.
Creed.
Yeah,
he was like, I had this. It was a drow elf with a sword. He's like, "Hey, can I take that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Not really thinking that through. And now he's got like this super powerful poison dagger that's just killing everything.
Well, poison is one of the most resistant types of damage for enemies. So as we climb up in the ranks, it'll become less of a problem. The Holy Avenger, though, legendary magical weapon. That's something that I'm going to have to deal with when it's when I take back over.
Well, maybe I can help that out before.
No, everyone. Steve, if you didn't give the legendary Avenger, then you'd just be homebrewing a magical item that has like unforeseen consequences. I mean, every DM does it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, maybe I'll just add some more, like at the very end of my little kind of campaign session. I'll give everyone like 15 magical items just to really screw you up. What me and Alex do is I'll DM for a while, then he'll take over. So we're kind of leapfrogging through the same kind of world.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great strategy for all you listeners. It's a great strategy to avoid DM burnout. Just have a buddy in the group who will DM and let you play. But yeah, Steve, if you do that, then it's just going to be a matter of like a time jump, and it's like, oh, I'm afraid all the magic drained out of all 15 of your magical items. Sorry. Holy Avenger, that legendary artifact that's endured millennia. Yeah, its battery died. So
Palor's lead angel came to take the back to the whatever.
Yeah. Yoink.
Easy come, easy go.
Yeah. Well, Steve, it's been another Thursday night, and I don't think we've lost any power.
Has it already been 30 minutes?
It's been just about 30 minutes, yeah. And
it's been 28 minutes, which sounds like the percent you may get off if you order, and you have another half hour, correct?
Damn, Steve, you're a better salesman than I. I should put you on the payroll. But yeah.
Wait, well, what? How much would you?
For those of you just joining, if you use discount code CAMPING at checkout, you'll get 28% off your order at GameplayCandles.com for the next now 31 minutes. So until 10 o'clock Central Time.
These scents are amazing. For those of you who don't know, while I was camping, Alex was kind enough to dog sit my dog. And when I picked him up, he smelled of Rogue's Retreat. It was amazing.
Yep. And for a modest fee, I will dog sit other dogs and return them smelling like beautiful leather scented candles. So
I was very happy when I picked up my puppy, and he smelled so well.
Well, he was easy to watch. Evie's a good boy.
Good to hear.
Yep. So that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us this Thursday. You can catch us again next Thursday. We'll have a new topic, and we'll do another flash sale for a discount. Can't guarantee it's going to be as high as this one. We're at 28% for this evening.
It may be higher.
It may be higher. It's statistically possible.
I mean, it may not, but it may be.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks, Steve. You take care, and take care to all you listeners. We'll catch you next week.